Hi, welcome back to Today is Tomorrow's Past. Today we're going to be looking at the history of Bonfire Night. Fireworks Night, also known as Guy Fawkes Night and Bonfire Night, is an annual celebration on the 5th of November, primarily in the United Kingdom. Its history begins with the events of the 5th of November 1605. A group of Catholic conspirators, led by Robert Catesby, had planned to blow up the Houses of Parliament during the state opening. They intended to kill the King, James I, and members of the Parliament in a plan called the Gunpowder Plot. They wanted to do this because England was a Protestant country at the time, and the plotters wanted England to be Catholic again, which they thought they could do if they killed the King and his ministers and replaced them with a Catholic head of state. The plotters leased an area under the House of Lords and began stockpiling barrels of gunpowder. Guy Fawkes was placed in charge of the stash. The plan failed when the conspirators were betrayed. One member of the group had sent a secret letter to his friend who worked in Parliament, warning him to stay away on the 5th of November. "My lord, out of the love I bear to some of your friends, I have a care for your preservation. Therefore I would advise you, as you tender your life, to devise some excuse to shift your attendance at this Parliament, for God and man hath concurred to punish the wickedness of this time. Yet I say, they shall receive a terrible blow this Parliament, and yet they shall not see who hurts them." The letter found its way to the King, and an immediate search was ordered, and they found Fawkes guarding the explosives. He was questioned and tortured over the next few days and confessed to wanting to blow up the Houses of Parliament. The other conspirators were all either killed resisting capture or, like Fawkes, tried, convicted, and then hung, drawn and quartered. Following the foiled plan, Parliament declared November 5th a National Day of Thanksgiving, and the first celebration of it took place in 1606. People lit bonfires around London, and months later, the introduction of the Observance of 5th of November Act enforced an annual public day of thanksgiving for the plot's failure. Within a few decades, Gunpowder Treason Day, as it became known, became the prominent English commemoration day. But as it carried strong Protestant religious overtones, it also became a focus for anti-Catholic sentiment. Celebrations became increasingly raucous, and people would burn effigies of popular hate figures of the time, such as the Pope. There were songs and poems associated with the evening, as far back as the late 17th century, which we still sing and recite today.
Remember, remember the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason and plot. I see no reason why gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Guy Fawkes, 'twas his intent to blow up the King and the Parliament. 70 barrels of powder below, poor old England to overthrow. By God's providence he was catched, with a dark lantern and a burning match. Holla boys, let the bells ring. Holla boys, God save the King.
It's noted that in the 18th century, people began to create Guy Fawkes himself as one of the effigies to burn on the bonfire, and it became known as a guy. By the end of the 18th century, children would parade their guys around the streets in the days leading up to Guy Fawkes Day and ask passers-by for a penny for the guy. The 5th of November gradually became known as Guy Fawkes Day. In the 1850s, changing attitudes resulted in the toning down of much of the day's anti-Catholic feelings, and the observance of the 5th of November Act was overturned in 1859. Eventually, any bad feelings were dealt with, and by the 20th century, Guy Fawkes Day had become an enjoyable social commemoration. The present day, Guy Fawkes Night, is usually celebrated at large organised events centred on a bonfire and extravagant firework displays. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please think about subscribing to my channel. I appreciate it more than you know, and tune in next time for another video. Bye!